Congratulations, Mr. Clavette and Mr. Hunter. It's impressive that you just started with us and quickly have become employees of the month. That's very impressive, and we appreciate the work that you do every day. I know it's not always easy out there, but again, it's noticed not just by council but by citizens, and again, we appreciate what you all do every day. So thank you. The next recognition, I believe we have for Ms. Watson. Mr. White, okay.
At this time, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to call up Hall of Fame coach Bill Mayhew. Many of us in town have been coached by him over the years. I couldn't tell you how many championships and champion wrestlers that he has done, but he continues to be instrumental in our wrestling program. One of the two young men we're recognizing tonight also, Drew Curley. I can remember when he was born, and he threw rocks on the baseball field all the time we was trying to practice. But his family been in the community a long time as well, and wrestling was a passion of Drew's at an early age. I apologize that I do not know Sam as well, but I do know Sam, and he also has let folks know they really don't want to get on the mat with him. But we have two outstanding young men, and if you all would come up, Coach and Drew and Sam, and come up, the mayor's got certificates to hand you, please. I think a lot of us would like to have as much hair as Sam's got.
Coach, good job.
Just so you know, Sam, when I wrestled for the coach, I had that much hair too.
I would like to say that these are two really outstanding individuals. They've worked hard, like you said. Drew started. I saw Drew when he was about this high wrestling, and I've watched him grow. Both of these have been All-State. Drew has been All-State. This is his third year as an All-State wrestler, and he's won it all this year. And then Sam, it's his second year as an All-State, and he also won. Also, Drew broke our state record, or our school record this year for most wins. He's got 160 some wins. Sam also, he already has eclipsed 100 wins, so he's going to go past 150. Might get more through this. So both these are really, really outstanding wrestlers, and the community can be very proud of the fact that they're in. And he was asking how many state champs. I don't really know either. I know it's more than 50. I know it's probably closer to 75 or so state champions that we have had here. So we've had a lot of individuals that are really good, but it's because they work hard. And if I could have kept him from talking to girls all the time, I think. So we do appreciate you honoring them tonight. And
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And we got good South Arrow connections here, so
Yes.
it's always great to come here. Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much for everything you do. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna have to talk to you sometime, get some more dirt on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know plenty. He's not gonna ever cross me.
That's a
Probably good, okay?
That's a fact. I also remember him following us with the truck. The coaching methods have changed now. But if you got slow, that truck would bump you.
Yeah.
You didn't get too slow.
Yeah. Well, Drew, Sam, congratulations. Great work as students representing South Iredale. Yeah, you're really impressive to student athletes, and so look forward to hearing what you all might do again going forward. So,
One
again,
more thing, could I just?
Absolutely,
let the
Coach.
parents stand up, 'cause they all can.
Yes, absolutely.
Not just them, so would y'all stand up? So.
No.
And
Yeah.
just for the record, we thank all of you for coming tonight, but we certainly are not gonna make you all sit through our entire meeting. You all are welcome to leave now if you want, or you can join the rest of the business we have, but that's entirely up to you.
So I'll let 'em go.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Thank y'all, great work.
The
I like-
baby's gotta stay, Zorn.
You look sharp.
I like it when the coach asks if he can speak. I'm like, am I going to deny? Yeah, that's not going to happen. For a moment there, I thought we were back in the wrestling room, but it's all good. The next item on the agenda is the proclamation for the National Child Abuse Prevention Month. I'll read a couple of captions from the proclamation, but it is available. Whereas the fiscal year 2024, 3.9 million reports were made to Child Protective Services. Child abuse and neglect is a serious problem. Our children are our most valuable resource in our community. Child abuse can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects. Protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote the social, emotional, developmental well-being of children. Effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. We acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote and continue to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense to our children and families, therefore, I, T. Ross Young, Mayor Town of Troutman, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in Troutman, North Carolina, in partnership with Iredell County Department of Social Services, Iredell County Guardian Ad Litem Office, Pharaoh's Parenting, Children's Hope Alliance, Dove House Children's Advocacy Center, and Iredell County Partnership for Young Children. We urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. And I sign this day, April 2025. And again, important proclamation, but more important that we do what we can to prevent child abuse awareness in our community. The next item on our agenda is standing reports, and I believe we've got Mr. Getzinger here with our ABC quarterly report. Looking forward to hearing from him. Good to see you, Mr. Getzinger.
Good evening, Mayor and honorable council members, town staff, and my fellow citizen, and I guess there's one over there. So, anyway, it's a cozy group tonight. And I like the new microphone, it's snazzy. And Mayor, you look like a professor now.
I can't keep up with you, sir, but
Well, let me tell you what, I like those glasses, I do. Anyway, on behalf of the Troutman ABC Board, my fellow board members, Wes Edmiston and Kim Cavins, and General Manager Evelyn Coleman, thank you for the chance to be here tonight to talk to you about what our performance for the third quarter of the fiscal year. And just before we get into that, though, I would like to say real quickly, I mentioned it the last quarter, but it was such a nice thing to happen. I wanted to repeat it. The ABC Commission put out its percentage of profit to sales report at the end of last quarter for the fiscal year of 23-24, which was last fiscal year. And they rank all the 168 ABC boards based on their percentage performance. And Troutman was number 12 out of 168 in percentage of profits to sales. And that it doesn't matter what size your store is, we outperformed much larger boards that would have a lot more revenue than what we would have. It really boils down to how you manage your expenses that are attendant to all of that, and that goes back to how well Evelyn and her staff are performing to keep the cost of operations down, and at the same time making sure that the customers that come in there are enjoying their experience. So just wanted to remind you of that, because I just feel like it's something that's significant that these other folks have done that is worthy of merit. And just going quickly into the third quarter's numbers, as a reminder, our budget is $3.1 million forecasted for the year. We, for the third quarter, had $779,181 in sales, and that was an increase of $38,000 over the previous third quarter for last year, which was a 5.1% increase. And that's an important number when you hear what I have to say here at the end, which I'll try to get to quicker than not. But anyway, so in January we had 14.4% increase over the previous January. February was just 1.4% increase, and March was 0.65 of 1% over last March. So that 5.1% really came out of January's numbers, because February and March were barely above break even. The third quarter's net profits were $69,707, and that was a 9% of sales versus the 13.44% that we had for the previous year. That's that profit is 33% of our annual budgeted profit of $209,282. Our distributions for the third quarter are going to be $21,878 to the town and its identified recipients. Law enforcement will get $3,662, and alcohol and drug education will get $5,127. Our inventory at the end of the third quarter is right below 26,000 over last year, and our current retained working capital is $557,000 against an allowed $642,855. So that's 87% of that number in the specific capital reserve account, which council approved for us to, it's a statute, a state statute that allows for us to do that based on councils or appointing authorities' approval. And in 2021, y'all approved for us to set up this account. This money will go towards the second store, and it's in there we got $333,000. And based on our sales thus far for the fiscal year, we're on track to do 3.55 million, which is about 450,000 above what the budget is. And what I'm going to tell you next could cause those numbers to change downward. While we're seeing, as you've heard me say already before, we're seeing modest increases in the numbers in our sales, but taking into account inflation, that those increases are really flat, just keeping us sort of flat with what's going on around us. And the significance of what I'm saying next is something that we really don't know what's going on, and it's not just, you heard the numbers a while ago, we were 1%, 1.4% in February above last year's February sales, and 0.65% in March. Sales across the state in February were down 6.59%. In February, that was February. In March, sales were down across the state 6.21%. And when we get these reports at about 10 days into the month for the following month, but these are reports that rank order all the ABC boards of 165 boards across the state and their performance, and just about every one of them have negative profitability over the previous month for the like February 2024, and in a lot of cases I'm talking about sizable decreases, 10%, 12%, 14%. And this, obviously, this decrease takes into consideration the fact that there are stores that went offline with Helene, but we've got, these other stores are spread out throughout the state, and so they would have not really been affected by Helene. And so I mentioned to you, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, that the Surgeon General had put out a report that said that alcohol in any amount was cancerous. So that was, something that I think has resonated across the country. I mean, there were a number of articles. You've probably seen plenty of articles in either the newspapers or magazines referencing that report. But I don't know that that's what's the factor here, and we don't know. I just got these numbers last evening, so it came as a surprise to the board and myself. But I just thought it was important that you be aware of that, because it does have an impact on where we are right now in terms of the second store's planning for going forward. We're right now, we're waiting for the sales. I mean, our sales, like you've heard, we're relatively flat, based on last year or so. Until the sales kick up, it's excuse me, I have this problem since I had my surgery, but until they tick up, I mean, we can't really take on a $3.5 million note and service that debt on a second store. And that second story, I mean, cost of construction, I think, I don't know, it's $300 to $400 dollars a square foot. So if we were looking at maybe a 6,000 square foot building similar to what we've got over here, but we wanted to do a warehouse, which we can always build at like after the fact like we did over here. So that's not the biggest issue, but there's a lot of parking lot that we have to build. There's a road we have to build to come into the property, and then a road across our neighbor's property to get out the Flower House Loop, and then there's a detention pond and the roads that go back to that. So it's a very expensive proposition based on numbers that are not yet there to justify going forward. So I want you to understand that we feel like, the board's just do not have the comfort zone that we'd like to be in to go forward at this point. And I'd be glad to answer any questions and concerns that I may have just created for you.
No, any questions for Mr. Getzinger? I would say you all are making a prudent decision, and you all have always operated in a prudent manner and conservative manner, and it still shows. I mean, congratulations on being number 12 in terms of profitability, and I mean, again, that's high mark, and so you guys are still doing very well, and so give our best to the team and let them know that, again, council and the team appreciates what you all do and every day. And again, I think you're, given the current environment, you're making a wise decision. If it'll start to shape up, I'm sure you'll make a run at it. But again, makes sense.
Thank you, Mayor. That's very kind. And if I get some answers to the reasons why the numbers are down, and if the numbers are down for the month of April, I mean, I won't wait till the end of the next quarter to let you know what's going on. So if there's an uptick and things seem to be heading back in the right direction, I'll shoot an email over to Kim, and she can, let y'all know what I know.
Great.
But while I'm sad to see the numbers are down, but it seems to be a systemic thing and not just Troutman thing.
Right.
So, I take comfort in that, even though I'm disappointed, sad. I'm disappointed. We've got a great board and a great, manager and store. But again, I'm disappointed in the numbers and so forth. But again, the fact that we're 12, as the mayor pointed out, and this is happening all across the state. This is something evidently it's just going to have to work itself out, I presume.
Well, I don't, I'm in agreement, and I thank you for your comments.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. And
Good to see you.
good to see everybody.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is new business. And we've got the Citizen of the Year award. We discussed it on Monday. I will ask for council to put forth, based on the applications that we've received, any recommendation for Citizen of the Year.
Is now the time. I make a motion that we choose Anna Johnson as Citizen of the Year.
Okay. Motion's on the floor to choose Anna Johnson. Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Motion has been made, received a second. Any question or comment? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Congratulations, Ms. Johnson. I look forward to providing her the award at next month's meeting. The next item is Organization of the Year. Again, council, you had an opportunity to discuss it on Monday. Is there a recommendation on Organization of the Year?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the Motion that we elect the Ruritan Club of Troutman as our organization of the year.
Okay, a motion's on the floor to recommend the Ruritan Club of Troutman as the organization of the year. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made, receive the second. Any question or comment? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Look forward to awarding the Ruritan Club Organization of the Year. I would say it's great to have multiple nominations for both Citizen and Organization of the Year, and look forward to maybe in the future seeing some of those nominees again. And so again, appreciate those who made those nominations, citizens who were willing to nominate some of these, both awardees and people who were nominated. So thank you for that. The next item on the agenda is to consider Resolution 0925, titled the Town of Troutman Resolution of Tentative Awards of Construction Contracts for the 2022 Sewer Collection Rehabilitation Project, number CS 37058006 and SRP WSRP 0249. At this time, I believe our engineer, Mr. Thomas, is here. Would?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. Good to be with you again. It's been a while. This is it's really two contracts for one major project, and there's several others in process. But this one focuses on getting your sewer collection system tighter, keeping the rainwater out, helping prevent sanitary sewer overflows, spills, prevent backups. So this this is part of, or the culmination of a couple years of studying the older part of your system, the clay pipes, the brick manholes. There's a lot of smoke testing, putting cameras down pipes, opening up the manholes, taking pictures, and then ranking all those to see which are the worst parts of the system that need to be fixed. And so this project that we received bids on has two parts. One is what we call Contract A, sewer pipe rehabilitation. That's where you put a epoxy liner inside the old clay pipe. So the clay pipe stays in place, but this liner cures, it's heated up with steam, and so it goes in real flexible, but then when they cure it, it becomes a very hard pipe with no joints, so there's no way water can get in or out. And then for the brick manholes, a lot of those will be lined with a high-quality cement liner. A lot of times the tops of the manholes will be replaced. And in some cases, we'll actually dig up and replace the pipe. It's so bad you can't even put those liners through it. So that's the type of work it is. And excuse me. So you have in your packet a letter of recommendation from our firm. We've reviewed the bids and the bidders. The low bid for the pipelining contract A was SAK Construction. They're based out of Missouri, but they have crews all around the country, primarily in Florida. And then contract B is that manhole work and digging and replacing a pipe. And the low bidder on that is Lane Construction of Stony Point, North Carolina, just kind of near Statesville and Taylorsville. And our firm has not worked directly with SAK before, but so we checked their references and they got good reports. So they certainly checked out as far as plenty of experience, but also in speaking firsthand with some of the people that worked with them. We have worked personally, West Consultants worked with Lane Construction on many projects, and so we can confidently recommend them. So we do recommend these two contractors, and the resolution is a resolution as opposed to an actual contract award, because it would be contingent on, these bids will also get reviewed by the funding agency in Raleigh, which is the Division of Environmental Quality, Department of Environmental Quality, Division of Water Infrastructure. So they'll check it for completeness, make sure it meets all the requirements of their program. And they are funding it both through grants and loans. It's a combination of grants and loans. So we're pleased that we got bids, that you have the funding in place for most of it, but I want to remind you that, as it says here, you've got about $2.3 million in grants and loans available. That falls short of these bids and the other costs from the project. So almost $600,000 more will be needed. We reached out to the Division of Water Infrastructure. They have the money available. It would come in the form of a loan, just an increase in this existing loan. So the best thing about it is a 20-year loan. You have 20 years to pay it back, and a very low interest rate of about 1.6%. So it doesn't have a huge impact on your budget and your rates.
Excuse me for interrupting.
Yes, sir.
Is that the entire loan, 1.6%? Entire loan? You said, we're obviously having to come up with extra, approximately 600,000, so that's just added on to the existing loans we.
Right. Even here in the resolution, the loan that had already been approved and the council had already accepted in the past is $687,500. So that would go up to approximately 1.3 million total. And then, but
Going
that,
to 1.6.
you'd have 20 years to pay it back at that low interest rate. So that's what we recommend, and do recommend these contractors. And if it pleased the council, you would pass the resolution, and then we would submit all this paperwork to Raleigh, and then probably sometime in May or June, the project could get started. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Any questions for Mr. Thomas here? I've got a few. Okay. Yeah. So Benji, so a couple things on the piping. We've mapped out everywhere we have clay pipe, I'm assuming, in that initial kind of research work we did. So this would cover all clay pipe in the community.
Well, so good question. So this project will not line or replace every single pipe. We prioritize the worst,
Okay.
because then you'd be looking at probably $3 or $4 million to do all that.
Okay.
So where, clay pipe, excuse me, was popular. It was really the only choice back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. There was Orangeburg pipe. Anytime we find that, we always replace it. That's basically almost like cardboard pipe. It's made with asphalt, but clay pipe is strong, and it's of course very inert. You don't have to worry about chemicals corroding it, that kind of thing. The problem is it's just brittle, and the joints were, back when they put it in, you just had a lot of joints, and you have cement in the joints. There's not like a rubber gasket like you would have today in modern pipe. So there's just a lot of ways that water can get in or sewer can get out from the original joints, and then also that it cracks over time due to roots, just settlement, traffic loads, all the different things, all the stresses on pipe. No pipe's going to last forever, and so a clay pipe will last 100 years easily if all the conditions around it don't stress it. So where we find it's been stressed, cracked, broken, that's where we're going to either line it or replace it. If it's intact, or there's very few, there's actually in this contract some places where you have like 300 feet from a manhole to a manhole, and the camera showed there was just one spot in that whole 300 feet. We'll just dig down to that one spot and replace the pipe in that one spot. So in the end, you probably end up replacing approximately 50%, or replacing the lining approximately 50% of all this clay pipe, not 100%.
Okay, great. In terms of the manholes, are they, similar kind of situation, just where there's either stress or damage, or we perceived, based on what we saw, those are the only ones we're dealing
Similar
with?
thing, brick, of course, is very hard and durable, but the mortar that holds the brick together, it will break down over time, and so it easily lets water in. So to dig up and replace a manhole costs more than when you lay, like in a new subdivision, when you're installing a new manhole, that might be $5,000. If you dig up a brick manhole, replace it, you're talking probably $10,000-15,000 per manhole. So it's more cost effective to go in and repair the mortar and just line the entire side with an aluminum silicate type mortar. And that will last, 10 to 20 years. So you're good if you can get about 40 years of life out of any kind of asset in a water sewer system, you're doing a good job. So in this case, with brick manholes, if you can get another 10 or 20 years for much less cost than replacing the full manhole, that's what we always advise. And that's a lot of what you have in these bids.
It's kind of not a sleeve, but I'll say like an internal sleeve.
Like a
that you
sock.
slide down in, that you slide down inside of the brick manhole that exists now.
Excuse me, for the pipe, it's more like a sock that you put inside the pipe. And it kind
The
of
pipe,
blows
yeah, but
up.
I'm talking about the manhole.
The
that you-
manhole, it would literally be a person getting inside and applying it, just like you would put stucco on the side of a house or something like that. Yeah.
And just again, I guess my personal curiosity, but you mentioned that the clay pipe we're talking about is put in the, 60s, 70s, and 80s, I believe you said.
Right. Yeah, in the 80s is when PVC pipe became much more prevalent. And,
Was this kind of like and I know you mentioned something about Orangeburg for a name of the pipe, and it's a little bit different than the old clay pipe that I remember as a small child putting in up here in Statesville and so forth. It's different than that. Or is it?
as
essentially
far
the
as
same?
what we're, are you asking about Orangeburg pipe?
Yes, yes.
So Orangeburg pipe, that was popular during World War II because it was cheap, and there was a lot of shortage on materials. And I guess Orangeburg, South Carolina, I think is where it was manufactured. That's more like it's a wood fiber and asphalt. That's how they made it. So that was 50s and 60s. That a lot of that was put in. So it's not strong at all. And so the roots easily get into it. So, yeah.
What we're talking here is straight clay.
Yeah, mostly what you have is clay pipe.
Okay.
And I don't even remember for sure if we ran into any Orangeburg on for this project.
Any other questions for Mr. Thomas? Any projections on savings in terms of rainwater or any other?
Good question. So yeah, pretty much all this clay pipe we're talking about, that flow goes to the Statesville connection, and they do see a big spike when it rains, the heavier rains. So I hesitate to promise because, water gets in all kind of places, including, from people's houses, from the house to the street, those 4-inch lines or 3-inch lines. The town doesn't own those or maintain those, doesn't really have any control over those, so a lot of rainwater can get in those. But, I would hope that this cuts it in half, if not better, because anywhere we could find, if smoke came out of the ground or out of the wrong place, other than through the vent holes of the manhole, then that tells us that's where water can get in. So if we go and patch that place, that should keep the water out. So the town put a lot into the assessment, that camera work, and the surveying. So I'm optimistic it's going to make a big dent in those stormwater flows.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay. Council, you've heard from Mr. Thomas, West Consulting, regarding this resolution. Is there a motion on Resolution 0925? Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Motion is made, receive a second. Any other question or comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is public comments. Public is welcome to address the council with any comments or concerns. Anyone here from the public like to comment? Okay. All right, we'll move on down then to elected official reports and comments. I will start to my left. Mr. Jarozinski.
Well, just thankful to be here today. Came in from Chapel Hill from training, getting through the rain and all the traffic to make it here on time for the meeting. It's great to see that we have employees going above and beyond, that we're nominating 2 employees of the month pretty consistently. It's just great to see that they're all working together and getting stuff done that we need performed out in the community.
Mr. Now.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's great to sit here and watch our student athletes achieve so much and be good students and be good athletes and be contributing into the community. It's nice to see, and the coach, for all his years, seems to be mentoring our youngsters in a great way. So I'm very happy to see that. I'd like to also sentiment on Councilman Jarozinski's comments with our employees. But this Sunday, we got to wish everybody a happy Palm Sunday. Then the following Sunday, would like to wish all our citizens a happy Easter. And also, I think it's a couple of weeks from now, but I think it's a Tuesday, March 22nd, we have Earth Day, and the town is going to have a nice, hopefully, good day, and we get out in the community and pick up a lot of litter and make the town look real good. So, looking forward to those events and those holidays. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Hinkle?
Not really anything I can add. What my 2 previous cohorts have said, congratulating our employees and 2 young gentlemen from South Iredell, and the coach has been up there for many, many years and done a fantastic job. And, as Eddie said, the upcoming events, as well as the observance of some very important holidays for a lot of people. So I will leave it at that.
Great, thank you. Mr. Oxer?
Likewise, I echo all the other comments. I think it is good to see. It's one thing to look back on like a history of excellence, but I think it's another thing to see that excellence just keep continuing. And I think with the South Wrestling program, it's amazing. It's one thing to hear that, oh, yeah, we had 50 champions, and we just crowned 2 more. It's like this isn't a thing in the past. This is still excellence. So hats off to the whole program. I am looking forward to Easter. Can say that. But I do wish to, I would like to humbly request from my fellow council members, if it is possible, that we do have our budget meeting scheduled for the 22nd of this month. If it is possible to move it to the following day, the 23rd. I think there's a couple things going on that day. Some that I know that I would like to be a part of, some I think maybe some other council members and other town members may want to be a part of. So that would be my request. And that is all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. White, anything from staff in changing that date?
I really can't answer without doing some research. If I've got people in class or scheduled off, I know on the 22nd, we have 1 department director in class. On the 23rd, I didn't know a date to check in advance. I would just have to get back with you all as whether that's an issue with any of the other directors or not. Honestly, I can't say.
Okay. And I may not be able to be there most of the day on the 23rd. So, So, Mr. White, if you can check on the dates, then maybe get back to us, let us know if that worked for staff,
Yes, sir.
and I can try to look at my schedule as well,
Yes, sir.
see if I can make some changes there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for all the comments regarding Employee of the Month. Again, as I said earlier, impressive to have 2 employees that just joined us immediately become Employee of the Month. I would say that's a testament to the leadership and in your hiring practices, and also training and ensuring that they are part of the team. And again, it's again good testament to what you all are doing in Public Works. I know you like to come up and talk, and so again, you're welcome to bring as many of your employees up anytime for Employee of the Month. But again, great to see, and I echo Mr. Now's comments around having our student athletes and just students in general in our community as they continue to grow and develop to be part of our community, where we can recognize them and show our support. I think it's always important. Happy Easter. Again, thanks for bringing that up. That was the one thing that I had on my list, so this now beat me to it. And again, appreciate folks who will come out on Earth Day. I know there's some nonprofits that will be out to help support, so again, look forward to that. I did have a citizen call me regarding the intersection of Highway 21 at the charter school in New Food Lion, concerned about the new road direction. As I said to them, that's Highway 21, that's a state DOT decision, as far as I know, and they should have those conversations with DOT, but wanted to bring that up to Mr. Wyatt just to let you know that I'm sure you all might be getting same or similar conversations, but as I understand it, the work is not yet complete, but anything you all might have on that.
Oh, I would say hundreds of calls and complaints, and on one hand, we totally understand some of their frustrations. On the other hand, that's the whole purpose the concrete island was put there, is for people to pay attention and slow down, and those that are used to driving a normal way are just not looking and paying attention to their driving. If they were, they would see the concrete, and they would, and at the speed you're supposed to be driving through there, there's ample time to move a slight curve to the right and not hit it. But at the same token, Andrew has reached out to DOT. Anytime you have a change in traffic pattern, there should be warning lights or something letting people know that there's a change, because we are creatures of habit. So I totally understand some of the citizen complaints that they have relayed. A couple of them I don't understand what they have said, but I do feel their frustration. The police department has dealt with several incidents there. People calling in with damage to their vehicles and automatically assume they're hiring an attorney to sue the town, and we've explained to them, no, feel free if that's what you think you can accomplish, but DOT, they have responded. Our police officers on the weekends especially, I know on multiple occasions, have reset barrels and cones just so that they are there, but they keep getting run over. And the officers are doing that more than anyone else. And again, I understand, I'm not making light of the frustrations, but at the same token, I just also want to say that's the whole purpose of that median being there, is to cause people to pay attention. It is going to get a lot busier as some of those properties are developed, and this is just a warning of change to come. But we do agree with all of them. There should have been some signage letting them know to beware.
Yeah, we heard back from DOT, the company that was contracted to do that failed to do some painting correctly, and they went back out and did that, and they failed, like you said, to do the warning signs. So for a point, we got our own cones and put them out there, and then the barrels are up. We've had people, a lot of crash reports have been taken because of people driving onto the median.
Okay. Great. Thank you. That's all I have. Mr. Wyatt?
Thank you all for reminding everybody of Earth Day. That is truly, as one of you stated, an opportunity we get to volunteer and make our community look a whole lot better by spending a few hours with like-minded folks that just simply want to help and clean up the areas that will be identified. We hope that the weather cooperates. We're interested in how much that we can collect this year. We try to keep a count each year of what that is. Also, as you all mentioned, it is refreshing as a town manager to see the culture each one of the department directors are creating in their departments. Not only do they work well there, but they work well with other departments as well. And it's refreshing to see the different little groups that go and have lunch and or socialize in the evening. We've had several employees that truly look at their employment opportunities here as another part of their family. We've had a couple that we've had to threaten to take time off because they do enjoy their jobs. And for all the citizens that take time to relay positive comments when they see the various employees doing their jobs, we appreciate that as well. And other than that, I will wrap it up by saying each one of our department directors has already met with Moneybags, but he's tight-lipped about where we stand and gave some excuse about he's got to put all this in the computer and see what it says. He's already deflecting the blame that it's going to be the computer that tells us what we got to look at instead of what the numbers are. But I appreciate the in-depth thought process and planning, again, that the police chief and each department director has done. I was impressed by some of the things that Justin told me was discussed by each one of those folks with him. And then, of course, we had our overview meeting of where things are as well. But we look forward to the budget workshop, depending on what day it's going to be, and taking you all's questions and putting forth a good budget for all of our citizens. We look forward to that process and encourage anybody that they're welcome to come and participate, observe, or listen. When I say participate, unless you all change the rules, they're allowed to ask us questions on breaks and or ahead of time and or during that day, but there's not a public speaking period as each department director speaks. But we certainly are transparent for the process and welcome everybody to come and look. I did have one phone call asking why we were doing budget amendments. As I explained, our budget is simply a guide so that you all know as elected officials that we're trying to conduct business under your purview and transparently as possible. But just like a normal person's household budget, we can't predict when there's opportunities and or savings in other areas that's under budget. We've had a couple property purchases that was the majority of the reason for our budget request from Justin. And again, sometimes spending money is saving you lots of money years down the road. And that's the reason we have purchased those properties, and hopefully once the engineers are done, we can then start having community charrettes so that people can come and have an opinion on what we do with the lit building or how it's designed. But those are the reasons for those. It's not that we don't know how to do budgets, it's just that, again, just like a household budget, whether it's an emergency or an opportunity, that changes your budget, and that's why we come back before you all to ask for the approval. But that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Great, thank you. Again, thank all the staff for what they do every day. Again, I just give Austin a hard time, but again, appreciate what you all do. Again, that's a job that I know is hard, and we getting into the warm, rainy season, and so again, appreciate all that you do. And as we talked on Monday, a lot of the great work that Parks and Rec is doing to keep our community beautiful, looking good. Again, appreciate them as well, but really all the departments and functions. And I was talking to someone the other day who had interactions on the with the ladies up at the front, and first thing they said is, we are, great interaction. They're new to the community, great interaction, and they were like, well, I probably won't go back again because now I know I can do it online. So, but anyway, they at least had the initial contact. So, again, appreciate whatever everyone does. So, again, thank you for that. If there's no other business before the council, I'll ask
I
for a
will
motion.
say one thing, sir, kind of follow up on what you just said. I've always found, going back to when Ann Sims, many, many years ago, and the former Mayor Powell made a comment to us one time. He said, you don't know the cordial, nice personality she has with the public, defers a lot of, and deflects a lot of problems away from us that she handles. And I'm sure these ladies are in the same fashion as Ann was back then, and others as well. But Ann's one I really remember, and it's probably a lot that we, the kindness and the way these ladies up here, because I know when I come, how nice they are and how nice they are to customers and so forth, when I may be waiting or something. And that takes a lot off of us in the way of unhappy citizens when these ladies can, they can maybe come in upset or just curious or what have you, and they leave smiling. So
That's right.
That goes a long way.
Absolutely. Thank you for your comments. Anything else? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made, receives a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? You're welcome to stay. I don't know how long, but Kim may kick you out, so.